A number of years ago, my wife wanted to get a farmhouse table. And so one day I was like, well, we'll get her a farmhouse table. So I went to the store and I came home and I called Amy and I said, hey, come out to the garage. I got something for you. She's like, what? I was like, just come out to the garage. I want you to see what I got for you. So she comes out to the garage and I was like, look at what I got you. And she's like, what? I was like, right there. She goes, a pile of wood? I was like, yeah, I got you a farmhouse table. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I am gonna build you a farmhouse table. To which she kind of looked at me with a little bit of disbelief. See, I'm not a woodworker. I've not built a ton of things in my life. It's not something that I naturally love to do. So hang on and I'll share with you in a minute how that story finished up. But first, let me read to you Proverbs 24, 5 and 6. A wise man is full of strength, and a man of knowledge enhances his might. For by wise guidance you can wage your war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. In this proverb, it talks about the importance of being learners and growing in wisdom. It talks about the power of knowledge and having an abundance of counselors surrounding us. I want to take a minute and explore that further, but first, if you would just do me a favor, go down there and hit that subscribe button, ding that bell so you get the notifications the next time that I send out a video. The first thing I want to talk about in this proverb is this idea of an abundance of counselors. Who are the people that surround you in your life? Jim Rohn is known as saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, if you go online and search that, you're going to find people debating, is that true or not true, or whatever not. But let me give you one more that says, in Proverbs 27:17, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. That's exactly what Jim is getting at in his quote. See, we will become like the people who surround us. Who are you becoming like? I'd like to encourage you to do this activity. First, list the people that you spend the most time with. And then list out their really good qualities and maybe some really bad qualities if they have those. Then what I want you to do is, based on those people and based on their qualities, write out the type of person that you're going to become. Then when you finish that, I want to give you some hope, and I want you to think through, who is it that I want to become? What are the character qualities that I want to grow in? What are the skills I want to grow in? And then once you do that, write down 2 people in each of those categories, and then make the effort to go and start spending time with those people. Man, I love how I see your walk with Jesus. Can we spend some time together so I can learn to walk with Jesus how you have learned to walk with Jesus? Start to build those counselors in your life that are the type of people that you want to become. Harry S. Truman said, not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. The next thing that's really important in this proverb is that we are learners. Jim Quick of Quick Brain says that the average person reads 2 to 3 books a year, as opposed to the CEO of companies who reads on average 4 or 5 books a month. Did you hear that huge gap? Did you see how much more the CEOs learn and how much they gather because they read that many books? See, while the rest of us are sitting around watching Netflix and goofing off, they're sitting there learning so they can develop and they can grow above their peers and they can make an impact. Now, you may be like me and you're saying, I am the slowest reader ever. That's how I am. My wife, on one hand, she can read through books like crazy. I'm so slow. But then I read this thing one time that said, if I read 10 pages a day, I'll start to read 12 to 15 books a year. I was like, that's great. If I could do that, that would be wonderful. But after I read this proverb, I was challenged. Wade, be more of a learner. And so I was like, I'm going to learn to read faster. So what I do, I type speed reading in YouTube, ton of videos come up. There's one by Tim Ferriss there. And I was like, hey, let me watch that. It was less than 10 minutes long, I think. And he gave 3 or 4 suggestions on how to speed read. I was like, okay, I can do that. So 5 days ago, I started, and day one, when I first tested myself, I read 225 words per minute. I'm 5 days in, I've been practicing his method for the past 5 days, and now I'm at 440 words per minute, and I'm comprehending what I'm reading. So in 5 days, I've almost doubled my speed at reading. That means I'm going to be able to read so much more. And as I continue to practice and develop, because my goal is to practice it for the next 30 days. So this Proverbs challenges us to have an abundance of counselors and be a person who is a learner. Well, what are the results of that? Well, it says here, for by wise guidance, you can wage your war. There is victory. What are the hurdles that you're facing in your life right now? What is the area that you're struggling in? Maybe it's that you are struggling in raising those teenage children. Maybe it's you're a husband or a wife and your spouse and you are just not getting along and you're having a really hard time. Maybe it's you're just awful at your finances and you know you got to get something in order. What is your war? Identify it and then become a learner. Start to read about that area in your life. Start to grow in that area. Become an expert in that area so you can start to live it out. And then find 2 or 3 people who are amazing in that area of life, or who have overcome something that you're trying to overcome. And ask them just to start spending time with them. Ask them to help you. Tell them you just want to do some life with them so that you can begin to learn from them how they've grown in that area of their life. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to win in that area. You're going to start to overcome. So what happened with that farmhouse table? Well, I downloaded some instructions from the internet. And I read through those. I read through some other articles, and I started building that farmhouse table. I would hit some snags. I'd hit some difficult parts. And so what did I do? I called friends who I knew were really good at woodworking. And what did they do? They helped me. They gave me tips. They gave me pointers where I needed that help. And after a while, I had finished and completed a farmhouse table. Now, is it as beautiful as something from someplace like Pottery Barn? No, probably not. But we love it because we built it, because I put it together, because I constructed it. But you know what? If I hadn't been a learner and if I hadn't gained the right counselors, I never would have been able to build that table. So what's the area that you're dealing with in your life? Start reading, start learning, start watching YouTube videos, start finding classes so you can be a learner in that area, and then find the right counselors so that you can become a victor in that area of your life. Friends, I just want to encourage you not just to be hearers of the word, but let's all start becoming more doers of the word.